All right, let's talk about it. That silent killer of progress that freezes even the best of us, decision paralysis. Today, we're going to install a powerful protocol designed to just completely eliminate it so you can reclaim your focus and your energy. If you've ever felt stuck, this is for you.
So let's start with the paradox, right? We're always told that freedom means more choices, more options, more open paths. But what if that's a total lie? I mean, why is it that when you have 2 options, the choice is easy, but when you've got 20, you just freeze? Well, this isn't some kind of character flaw. It's a completely predictable response from your brain.
And this statement right here gets to the absolute heart of it. The idea of an infinite path, endless possibilities, it feels like it should be liberating. But for our brains, it's actually a cage. It puts us in this state of constant low-level anxiety, because every single second, you're being haunted by the ghosts of all the other choices you didn't make. That's not freedom. That's a prison of what-ifs that we build for ourselves.
Let's get real about what's happening when you feel stuck. You might tell yourself you're being responsible, you're weighing the options, but that feeling in your gut, right? That pressure, that mental fog, that is your cognitive system literally suffocating. You're completely lost in this thick smog of information. You can't see the road ahead, let alone pick a direction.
So how do we cut through that smog? Well, here's our game plan. First, we're going to diagnose the problem, the tyranny of choice and what it's doing to your brain. Then, we're going to install the solution, the 3-layer funnel. We'll get into the neurobiology that makes it so effective. I'll give you a 60-second protocol to turn it into a reflex, and we'll wrap up with a brand new operating system for your mind. All right, let's dive into the core issue here, what scientists call the infinite path fallacy. This is that mistaken belief that having more choices is always better, when in reality, it just creates a state of overload that makes any choice feel totally impossible.
Look, this isn't just a metaphor, it's a physical state. When you're trying to weigh too many options, your brain is trying to run a simulation for the future outcome of every single one. What if I take job A? What about job B? Or maybe start company C? This process is incredibly expensive, metabolically speaking. Your brain is only about 2% of your body weight, but it burns through 20% of your energy. Simulating all those futures is like trying to run 1,000 complex apps at the same time. You burn through all your fuel before you've even started the engine.
So what's actually going on inside your head when you hit that wall, that brain fog? Let's get into the biology. This has nothing to do with willpower. This is about your internal hardware hitting its absolute processing limit. There's a scientific term for this. It's called decision entropy. Now, you can think of entropy as just the measure of chaos. When you overload your brain with too many variables, the whole system just tips into chaos. It can't organize the information anymore, and the entire decision-making machine just collapses. It's a systemic failure, not a personal one. And what's really fascinating is how this biological shutdown actually happens. See, there's a part of your brain called the Anterior Cingulate Cortex, or ACC, and its job is to detect conflict. When it sees too many competing options, it just screams conflict and sounds the alarm. And to save energy and prevent damage from this high conflict state, it triggers what's called a metabolic veto. It literally cuts the power to your prefrontal cortex, the part you need for clear thinking. The result? You're frozen. And this right here perfectly illustrates the root of the problem. Our brains are ancient. They were not built for the modern world. For thousands of years, our survival hinged on making fast binary choices. Is that a threat? Fight or flight? Is this good to eat? Eat or don't eat? We are wired for simple. But now we're forcing that ancient hardware to process these infinitely complex variables. Like, which of these 15 investment strategies should I pick? It's just a fundamental mismatch. Okay, so let's get to the prescription. If the problem is too much complexity, the solution has to be a system that forces simplicity. This isn't about thinking harder. It's about building a better framework. Think of this as the RAM upgrade for your decision-making hardware. And this framework is what we call the compression engine. It's a 3-layer protocol that takes a completely overwhelming problem and funnels it down into one simple, unavoidable choice. And we're going to use 3 gears to build this clarity engine: the Constraint Sieve, the lead domino, and the binary bracket. The first layer, the Constraint Sieve, has one job and one job only: aggressive elimination. You have to stop asking that wide-open question, what could happen, and start asking the closed question, what must be true for an option to even make the list? You set 3 non-negotiable iron rules.
For a new job, it might be must be remote, must pay over a certain amount, and has to be in a growing industry. Bam! Instantly, 90% of your options just vanish.
Next up is the lead domino. The purpose here is ruthless prioritization. Once you've filtered out all the noise, you stop analyzing every little feature of what's left. Instead, you hunt for the one critical variable, the one thing that, if you get it right, makes all the other stuff secondary. Are you optimizing for lifestyle, for wealth, or for learning? When you're picking a job offer, don't compare the free coffee to the gym membership. Compare the equity package. Find the one thing that actually moves the needle.
And finally, you get to the binary bracket. The goal here is decisive finalization. Look, our brains are terrible at comparing three things at once. It just creates more conflict for that ACC we talked about. So, you stop. You check your top two options and you put them in a head-to-head battle. You force a winner based on your lead domino. Option A versus option B. One wins, one gets eliminated. If there's a third option, the winner faces that one next. You run this tournament until only one champion is left standing.
So why is this funnel so ridiculously effective? I mean, from a neurological standpoint, it's not just some clever mental trick. It directly hacks the biological roadblocks we've been talking about. It's designed to work with your brain's wiring, not fight against it.
Remember that metabolic crisis? Well, the decision funnel solves it. By cutting down the number of variables at each step, you drastically lower the energy cost of thinking. This preserves your most precious cognitive fuel, what scientists call executive glucose. It's like high-octane fuel for your prefrontal cortex. Agonizing over choices burns the whole tank while you're just sitting in the garage. This funnel keeps the tank full, so you have energy for what really matters, not analyzing, but executing.
And here's the kicker. The process itself feels good. Every single time you eliminate an option, your brain gives you a little hit of pre-action dopamine. This creates a feeling of progress, of control, and it trains your brain to find eliminating rewarding. You are literally rewiring your own neurology to become more decisive.
Okay, time to make this real. Theory is great, but a tool is only useful if you actually use it. We are going to turn this framework into a protocol you can run on your very next hard choice.
So here's the challenge. I want you to take the next decision that's got you feeling stuck and run it through this funnel in 60 seconds. The goal here is pure velocity. It's about breaking that old habit of agonizing and building the new muscle of acting. Here's the drill, step by step. First, name the decision. What is it you're stuck on? Second, define your 3 iron rules and use them to immediately kill at least 5 possibilities. Be ruthless about it. Third, take the top 2 survivors and run the binary bracket. No ties, no maybes, one has to win. And finally, and this part is critical, state your choice out loud. Say, I am choosing job offer A. This makes the decision real and cements your commitment. This really captures the fundamental shift in your thinking. The old way, the one that leads straight to paralysis, is to endlessly agonize and evaluate. You're trying to find the one perfect answer in an ocean of data. The new way, the funnel method, is to constrain and eliminate. You're not looking for the perfect option. You're looking to kill all the clearly imperfect ones until only a viable path is left. And that brings us to the core philosophy, the big idea that holds this whole system together. This isn't just a one-time trick. To truly escape decision paralysis for good, you need to adopt this as your new default operating system.
If you take only one thing away today, let it be this. We are trained to believe that success comes from adding more, from handling more complexity. But the real path to high performance is subtraction. Greatness isn't about how much you can handle, it's about how much you can strip away until only the essential remains.
So this is your new mantra. The next time you feel that fog rolling in, when you feel that pressure from too many choices, your command is simple. Kill the noise. All the extra data, all the what ifs, all the options that don't meet your iron rules, just eliminate them. And in the silence that's left behind, you will find the move, the clear, obvious next step. And that is how you go from paralyzed to powerful.